All right, welcome you guys to the Sunday night LS Empire Team Zoom. I'm so glad that you guys are jumping on. We have a lot to cover, and I'm really excited to share just a lot of upcoming things and just the content for tonight. Hopefully, you get some big takeaways, and I really appreciate you taking time out to be here with us because we know that that is valuable. So, first off, I just want to start with just sharing a little bit about my vision. I haven't completely wrote it out in full, but I know that my vision for 2017 is action and helping to develop this team, like deep within this team, and develop more leaders, promote inner growth, which then leads to outward growth. And I think that's really important because we seem to lose ourselves and pour ourselves so much into other people. And then we find that we're trying to pour from an empty cup. So that's where when I talk about promoting inner growth, there's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of times people think that that's selfish and that you take time to do those things. And those things can include your workout, your personal development, whatever it is. But it is equally as important that you take care of you before you take care of other people. And there's nothing selfish about that. So if somebody says, oh, do you love yourself more than you love me? I've had somebody ask me that. And I'm like, well, I can't really answer that question because in order to be able to love other people, you have to love yourself. So I think that that's the vision I really want to create is inward growth, which then promotes outward growth and passing that on to others. And then just taking action, literally taking action in everything we can possibly do, failing forward quite literally. And another thing that I want you guys to write down is I think people think that we're born leaders. And I thought that too. And sometimes I still think that because I start to steer away from personal development, but then realize that that's not true. Leaders are not born, they're made, right? Write that down. Leaders are not born, they're made. So it comes with skill and it comes with growth and it comes with a lot of things that leaders are made. They are not born. So anybody sitting on this call, everybody on this team, it doesn't matter where you are with this business, you too can become a leader. You too can become whatever it is that you would like to aspire to be. So we're going to move right into the first point, which is looking inward. And hey guys, thanks for jumping on. All of you that are popping on. So we're going to talk about looking inward. And so I kind of briefly mentioned that is taking time for yourself. And that's going to look maybe different in forms for different people. And maybe it's all of these things. Maybe you're focusing on one or two of these things, and maybe you want to focus more on 3 or 4 of these things, but you're still going for it. So taking time for yourself, whether that be, and there's 2 components to this. So taking time for yourself is going to be the moments that you find, that you make, right? So a lot of you have children and things like that, and you're like, how am I going to find 5 more minutes to myself? But I think that that's really key that you do, and maybe that's in your car. Maybe you go at the end of the night and you sit in your car for that 5 or 10 minutes and take that time for yourself. Maybe it's on your commute to work. Maybe it's your lunch break. Instead of sitting and just chit-chatting small talk with people, you're deciding to take that time seriously just for you to do some inward things. Maybe after you put your kids to bed. Maybe it's right when you wake up. Maybe it's right before you go to bed. I know that in the beginning, and what I still like to do is personal development right before I go to bed, because I feel like my phone's off, everything's down, and I pick up my book and I usually read for 10 minutes or 10 pages. And then I feel like subconsciously that starts to work on us. And I know that some people don't believe that, but I really wholeheartedly believe that that is true, that subconsciously our brains do a lot of work without us even knowing it. I mean, sometimes think about when you get in the car and you drive home and you get home and you're like, I don't even remember the drive home, because subconsciously your body and your brain just knows where to go and it knows where to take you. So find that time. So kind of be thinking right now, where can you take 5 minutes? And I'm not saying it needs to be a long time, but this is just for your own self-reflection. It's tough, I know, and when you're in this moment of inwardness, I want you to take it all in. What does it smell like? What does it feel like? What is the vibe? What is the presence of what's around you? What is the energy? Is there energy? And what I mean by that, like, like if there's a weird vibe or negative energy in the room or positive energy, you can definitely feel that. Like, how are you going into your inwardness, if that makes sense? And if it's negatively, then try to get rid of all of that so that you can truly self-reflect and do what you need to do. So then ask, is it rushed? Do you feel rushed when you're going into this? Do you, like I said, feel negative, self-defeating, silent? Is it relaxing? So I find that the hardest thing sometimes is to be inward. And it may sound weird, but it's because I don't like silence. I mean, I like silence, but it's hard for me to be one with myself and to like let those thoughts just start flowing, because sometimes they're not always things that you want to feel or experience right then. Maybe you start crying and I don't want to do that. Sometimes you just got to be prepared for that. I just don't like to do that at random times in self-reflection, but sometimes that happens and I don't like that. So I try to avoid this. So one reason why I'm sharing this is because I think it is really important, especially just this year, something that we practice is this, and getting used to being okay with just you. And I am going to speak about a higher power, and it can be whatever it is. And I know all of us kind of believe in the same thing, and maybe they're different higher powers, but we all have a higher power that keeps us accountable and that we truly are connected to in some way, shape, or form. And that's what I'm speaking here, is being connected in that inwardness, just there, just for like 5 minutes. At church today, it's crazy when they pray. I like it, but I don't like it, because it's like, again, all those emotions and those feelings and the things that I just keep trying to shove down, start to keep rising, because they need to take root somewhere and they need to get out. And that's why I just think it's very important, because when it's over, you do feel refreshed and you feel better. Maybe not every time, but sometimes I feel better, sometimes I feel worse. And there's other times where it's like, okay, I need to lay this out. I need to get this out of my brain. I need to get this out of my flipping brain and either onto paper or journal it and then throw it away, or type it up, or do something that you need to do with it and didn't get rid of it, because otherwise you can't process through that. And that takes looking in, and it's not always a happy in, right? We have things to work through. So in this time of inwardness, maybe you're praying, maybe you're meditating, maybe, like I said, it's just silent. And I explained how that's difficult for me, but, and learning to pray. Like, I'm finding out that I don't know how to pray, and that I just really didn't know the process of it. And so I'm relearning that and trying to, grasp that and go with it. And then listen, you guys, like, turn your brain off and listen for what the higher power is trying to put on you, or to tell you, or to answer maybe what it is you're thinking without saying it. And that is what we need to do. We need to have more times of that. So I know it's a struggle. But that's what we need to do. We need to listen. We need to hear and think about what's going on around us and hear what these people are trying to, the higher power is really trying to tell us what we need to do and what we need to lay down and let go of. I know that in everything they're in control anyway. So don't focus on what you can't do. Instead, focus on what you can do. So in that time of reflection, that inwardness, you're listening, and then you're not thinking about all the things you're bad at. Right? Not about how you can't figure out how to get a dang post made. You can't figure out how to get the graphics on the post just right. You can't make that perfect coaching invite. You can't get the video the right way on the thing. Maybe it's up and down instead of landscape. Whatever it is, don't focus on that, you guys. Focus on what you're good at. Focus on a positive thing of your strength. We need to stop focusing so much on what we're not good at and focus on what we've done, what we've accomplished, and what we're moving forward with, and not the negative part of that. So focus on what you can control. Can you do this better? Are you already good at this? Then do more of that, right? Don't focus on what you can't do. Focus on what you can do. That comes to like working out. I'm learning a lot right now about myself and how hard it is to slow down, but I'm finding that I really, really flipping need it. And when it comes to workouts, and I don't do super intense workouts, but it's just, sometimes you just, like I said, you got to listen to what's going on around you, and they're trying to tell you, slow down, do something different, switch it up. Let's see. Okay, and so another thing. So much is going on around us, right? That's why it's hard to listen to what's going on, to the higher power and what they want you to do. And then we're always focusing on what someone else is doing. We're always focusing on what's going on over there, squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. We're always focusing on other people. and what they're doing and how you're not doing that as well as they are. Well, we need to stop that. Put your blinders on, stop following those people, stop looking at their pages, stop trolling, and realize that you are good at what you are, and you are supposed to be who you are, not anybody else. Okay. So 2007, we're going to take it back 10 years. Just kidding. 2017, the mission, do more of what makes you happy, you guys. Do more of what makes you happy and less of what doesn't. Chalene Johnson shared this long time back, like a year ago, and it's do more of what makes you happy and less of what makes you unhappy. Okay. Or limit your time there. Maybe you can't fully get rid of it right now, but because you need it, maybe it's a part-time job that you have, but you don't really like it, but you need it right now because you need the finances. So maybe you're going to work on getting rid of that though in 2017. You're going to focus more a little bit on your business to make up for that extra income or whatever it is you're doing. And then you'll be able to get rid of that thing that makes you less happy. So put that on your list of things to do. So hopefully, like, taking time, I know that we don't talk a lot about turning inward, but start focusing on you and pointing your finger at you and what you can do differently instead of like this. So turn it in here. Is everything good? Christy and Michelle are laughing. Are you guys laughing at me, or are you guys conversating together between the two of you? All right. So the second point is, can everybody hear me okay? Okay. So the second point is taking action. And that's what I really want to talk about going into 2017 is more action, you guys. Less thinking about it, less overthinking things, less thinking you're not enough, like I just said about the posts and the invites and things like that. Less of thinking about it and more doing it. Just doing it and learning from your mistakes and just getting better at it. So don't talk about it, be about it. Write that down. Don't talk about it anymore, just be about it. If you say you want to hit Success Club, stop talking about it and be about it and figure out how you want to get there, right? How many people do you need to invite then? If you want to be an all-star, how are you going to do that in this year? How are you going to hit Success Club for 12 months in a row? And I'm telling you, it's worth doing. You get some awesome perks from the company, but not only that, that means that you are consistently helping people every single month to change their lives. I mean, that's really the payoff. And that's amazing. So don't talk about it, be about it. And the other thing that is mind-blowing to me is that when you start talking about fear. So what does fear do? Fear stops us from doing anything. Doesn't matter what the fear can be of anything, right? And does anyone know what kills fear? Action, right? Action kills fear. That's the only thing that kills fear, action. So more action, less fear. More action, more doing, right? So isolate your fear. I want everyone right now to write down like your fears, like write them down on pen to paper, write down what your fear is. And we're going to share these. Maybe if we don't have time on the call, then in the group page. But what is your fear? Is it a fear that a failure? Is it a fear of, being told no? Is it a fear of being successful, you guys? Like, what happens if you be successful and then you feel bad that you are successful? That is a thing, like that you're fearful of being successful. You have a fear of getting told no. You have a fear of not being good enough. Whatever your fears are in this business, in your life, they should be ones in your business, like your biggest fear in this business. And then also in life, like maybe they're the same. I don't know, but what is it? And fear is going to continue to hold you back until you isolate those fears and you write out what it is. And then what are we going to do? Anybody know? We're going to face those fears. We're going to do action items that are going to conquer those fears. So that's what this is about. Taking those fears and finding out how together we can just start annihilating our fears with action. All together now, right? We're going to take our fears, we're going to isolate them, and then we're going to put some action items to them, and we're going to kick them to the curb and tell them they're not welcome here anymore. I was just listening to the Success Club call, and Elizabeth Gilbert mentioned that it's okay to have fear. It's normal to have fear, and it's okay to have fear with you. Like, you can let it in the car, but the fear is not allowed to drive you. The fear is not allowed to change the radio. The fear is not allowed to do anything. It's just allowed to be there. It's not allowed to control you. And so you are the one who is in control of that. And it was just like, whoa, that was so true, right? So fear is going to be there, and it's a normal thing to have fear. But the only way we can kill that fear is by doing actionable items. So what's it going to be? Is it going to be conquering your fear of inviting people? Is it going to be asking about the coaching opportunity? Is it going to be the fear of swimming, right? So how do we kill these things? So, right, you would get some swim lessons. Dante, we're swimming in New Orleans. This year it's going to happen. Is it going to be, like I said, that you don't know enough about Shakeology? So what is it you're going to do? You're going to find out as much stuff as you possibly can about Shakeology. And then you're going to feel confident when you share about it. Okay. And a lot of times, you guys, it's not even that you have to know everything. You just have to speak with a sense of belief. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. So is it public speaking? What are we going to do? Maybe you're going to volunteer to talk on one of our team calls. And just for maybe a minute or two. Not something, I'm not telling you to lead the whole call, but you have to step up and acknowledge the fear and say, how am I going to conquer this? I'm going to do this small little thing to get me there. Okay. Here's a little acronym. So for fear, you can forget everything and run, which is what a lot of people do, but not us, right? Not us, not right here, not our team. What do? We face everything and we rise. Face everything and rise together. Right? We're not forgetting everything and running. We're facing everything and rising up. Okay. Fail forward. I mean, we say this a lot, and it's true, you guys. And fail forward, what exactly does that mean? It means that you're doing things that you don't necessarily want to do or don't know how to do. You're doing them and failing forward. So maybe it didn't work, but you did it. You know, I didn't want to do my first video, but I did it. So you're failing forward. Could have been horrible. Maybe nobody was on. Maybe you messed up every other word. I don't know. But you still did it. So that's failing forward. That's still doing things as you're just failing forward. It's kind of like you're tripping, but you don't quite ever fall. You just keep going. And this is a thing that will paralyze you too with fear, is that you think everything has to be perfect. I am an emerald style personality, and I know there are other emeralds on this team. And this will paralyze us, you guys, is that we feel like we have to have everything perfect before we can do anything. Now the sapphires, they don't give a crap. They just spitfire it out, and they just go with it, and then they think about it later. So they just spit it out and they go for it, and they don't even think about it. But us emeralds, we think everything to the T. We think we have to know every single dotted I and crossed our T's and have like literally be an encyclopedia of information before we feel like we can share one thing, which is silly. That's silly. So we have to stop with that fear of thinking that we have to know everything, or everything has to be exactly perfect and aligned before we can do anything. Like, oh my gosh, I already have to have this crazy success story in this business, or, you know, a physical transformation before I can say anything. No, that's not true. People want to be on the journey with you. You're more likely to have people come in and understand what you're going through if you're on the journey with them, not already at your end point or not already there, right? Get them on the journey with you. Don't wait until you have some transformation. Share the transformation with others while you're doing it. I mean, that's what's important. Talk with conviction, like I said. So it doesn't even matter what you know or you don't know. It's how you feel and how you believe about that, right? So I don't know. All I know is. So this is something that I've learned and that I think is true. When somebody asks you like, oh, what is this? You say, I don't know. All I do know is that this business has completely changed my life for the better. I don't know where I would be if I hadn't met you guys, 3.5, 4 years ago. I would probably be blah, blah, blah. Well, what do you think about Shakeology versus Plexus? I don't know about Plexus. All I know is Shakeology has helped me lose 12 to 15 pounds. I have the most energy I've ever had in my life. I feel great. I can go to the bathroom on the regular. I got rid of my medication, blah, 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 whatever it is. I don't know. All I know is. And then tell them what you do know. It's not about what you don't know. They want to know if you believe what you're telling them. So that's speaking with conviction. You have to believe what you're saying. I don't know. All I know is insert your dream, your belief, where you're going. So you could be a brand new coach on this call. And this is what you say. Well, you just signed up. What are you doing with this coaching thing? I don't know. All I know is I'm going to the top. I'm going to be on this train and it's leaving and I'm on it and I'm going. I'm going with these people because I know that I have a bigger mission than myself to help and serve other people to have the most fulfilling life they can, getting a physical transformation, but not only that, changing their mind. I don't know about you. All I know is I'm going here. Do you want to come with me or do you not? Right? I mean, someone's gonna be like, okay, they don't even care about whatever it was you were talking about. It's you believing what you're saying, right? Next point, speak life at all times, And this is hard. Speak life. That means you're not speaking death, which is, I don't like my body. I don't like my life. I don't like what's going on. All of those things. And it's hard to do. And it's something you have to practice. I mean, it's hard for me to do, but if you put this ball in motion, you get better at it. Right? So don't talk about other people, you guys. It's just one thing that I've learned. Like, you can share, but don't bring yourself down to that level where you're talking about other people. You're saying negative things. You're sharing other things. You're gossiping, those kinds of things. That's not breathing life or speaking life. So at all times, try to remember to speak life into yourself, right? Inward, into yourself, so that you can pour that out, right? Into yourself first. Speak, I am great. I am powerful. I am worthy. I am good. All those things, so then you can portray that outward, which personal development obviously really helps with that. That's why we need it every single day in our lives. Don't focus on all the things. Don't focus on all things that you guys can do. Focus on a couple things that you can do. We can't be good at everything, you guys, because if you try to be good at everything, you're not great at anything. So we want to be great at a few things, right? So stop trying to be good at everything and be great at a few things. Okay. That was another point that Elizabeth Gilbert made on her call, where she said, you've got to tell some people no, because those would be good things, so that you can rise up and be great at a few things. Okay. So overcoming fear takes practice. All this just takes practice, you guys. It truly, and it does. Like, I know that a lot of you have been on this journey with us, so you've seen it firsthand. If you're just starting, know that it's normal to have all these kinds of thoughts and overwhelmingness and just things like that, but it takes time. And that's why personal development is so huge. So if you've yet to still dive into this component, which I know there are people out there on our team who've been on our team for quite a while, who still have yet to dive into this, I am telling you right now, it's going to be the thing that changes your flipping life. It will. Whether it's going to church, whether it's connecting to a higher power, whether it's picking up that damn book that I mailed you like a year ago or 2 years ago. I don't even know what it is, but I'm telling you, that's what's going to change your life. Everything else will just fall into place afterwards. I'm not even kidding. Like, everybody goes through tough times, and in this business, there's times where you think, what the heck am I doing? And I even do that too, you guys. That's what you have to realize. But what is important is, I sat the other day at the counter and I said, what am I doing? I felt like I was comparing myself. And that's when I was like, whoa. And I said, maybe I should just, whatever. And the thought went through my head, and then I immediately was like, what would I do if I didn't do this? This is who I am. This is part of me, and everybody has those doubts. And that's when you're like, whoa, I need to pick up another book and dive in a little deeper. I need to lift a lot of things up and stop trying to have them right here and weigh them on our shoulders. You guys, we have to raise that up and give it up. Right. So that we can just do what we're supposed to do. And that's being the best version of us. And when we lay down, we know that we've done everything that we possibly can do. And what we can control, and what we can't, we cannot, right? So pick up your personal development and let this be the year where you really dive inward in yourself and you take action on what you're reading, on what you're doing, and realizing that overcoming fear takes practice, and that I want all of us to overcome a lot of fears this year together. And I know that that we all have them. It's human to have them. So being decisive takes practice. Overcoming fear takes practice. You need to practice taking action as well, which means whether you have a to-do list, or you have an accountability partner, or somebody where you're going to be accountable to taking action on those things. And so with those fears that you wrote down, that's what you're going to do, is you're also, with those fears, then going to make an action item list next to that. So like I said, if it's your fear of video or being in front of people, then you're going to have an action item of speaking publicly, on a little recorded call or something. So we can help each other, figure out what the action item would be, and then put you in those situations so that you can do them. Let's see. You need to practice taking action, but from my experience, action is the antidote to fear. Like I said, action kills fear. If fear is the mind killer, action is the fear killer. If fear is the mind killer, action is the fear killer, right? So just keep that in mind. So your action steps from the call tonight. I know it's kind of deep, and I hope that you guys take it away. You need to, the top things that you will have already wanted to do or do is your goals. Number one, first and foremost, is your goals and your vision board. How many people have those done? Raise your hands if they do, or they're at least in work. At least in you haven't finalized it yet, but you're still working. All right, I don't have enough hands going up, so that's one thing that you need to put on your your. And that's okay if you don't, because it's still. Kayla raised her hand. I can't see her, but she's raising her hand on the chat. But so for those of you who do, awesome. For those of us who are still working, because I don't even have mine necessarily complete 100% yet either. I'm going to finish that up this week. And but if you missed the vision board training and the goal setting training that I shared with Lindsay Matway, it's amazing. And so go back, and that's a really easy guide of how you actually can create a visual at the same time that you're doing those things. So goals and your vision board, that's number one. Number two is you're writing out your fears and your action steps. And then which kind of goes along with what are 3 things right now that you can take action on, that you need to take action on, that's going to propel you forward for the year? What are the 3 things you've been putting on the back burner, right? What are those 3 things? Maybe it's creating your story on video. Maybe it's inviting so many people every single day, whatever it is. Write those 3 things down. And then if you have something that is making you unhappy, what are you going to do more of that makes you happy? And what are you going to do less of that makes you unhappy? Okay. So think about that. And sometimes you don't realize that it's even like for me last year at this time, it was teaching a class because I was super overwhelmed. I was in this internship with Christine Dwyer, and you know that you have to be on your stuff when you're in her thing. And I felt like for me at that time, learning a new routine for Insanity was really, I was kind of dreading it. And so once I identified that and realized that I was dreading that, then I told the gym that I was like, I'm going to step away right now because I feel like I need to. And so that was my thing. And I didn't really necessarily want to, but I had to recognize that at that moment, that wasn't, what was right for me to do. So maybe it's something that you do enjoy, but it's just taking up too much of your time, and you're not like looking at it in the same thing, the same eyes as you were before. It's okay to step back, and then maybe in 6 months you reevaluate and you go back to it, right? Either way. So do more of that. And then affirmations. I don't know if you guys really understand the power of affirmations, but I can do a video on that, like teaching you how to write your affirmations. If you don't know, just let me know. But affirmations are things that you say to yourself on a daily basis, and usually they can be like a little paragraph or something that you're going to just say about yourself. Or like I have things on my old goal board that's like, I believe I am beautiful. I believe I am strong. I believe I am worthy. I believe I was put on this earth to make it a better place. So those are affirmations, and sometimes they can be longer. Sometimes they can just be like a couple words like that, but they're things that are going to speak life into you during those inward times. And I think that it's really important that we have a list of those, and whether you borrow somebody else's until you come up with your own, that's okay too. So something else to write on your action. So those 4 action items, go ahead and do. So that wraps up the actual training part. And once whoever starts the thread, go ahead and start it with those things. And then you guys use the group as our time to connect and really create the vision of moving forward with actionable items. So once you post there, then everybody else, and don't worry about what somebody else is saying, because this is about you. This is about what you want to do, right?
What are you doing?
All right. So hopefully you guys got some takeaways from that and some things that you can work on to helpfully make 2017 start off on the right foot. And if you haven't already, we're halfway through the month, right? There's still half of the month. You guys don't sign yourself off for anything at this point. If you're still beaming to hit Success Club, get there. Sit down and write out what you got to do, and let's all push together. Never discount yourself. Doesn't even matter if it's halfway through the year. We're only halfway through the first month. So if you have yet to do what you need to do, take this week to really gather yourself, gather your thoughts, get them out of your head. First and foremost, get them out of your head and onto paper, and then so that we can create a plan. All right, so here we go with announcements. So shout out to Michelle last month for hitting Success Club 10. Whoop, whoop. And then those of you who also got on the board with helping at least one person, that's Teresa, Jesse, Jenny, and Aaron. So congratulations to you guys. I mean, I know everybody's out there doing amazing things, and you guys are always paying it forward. That's what I love about this team, is we really, truly are just trying to grab other people by the horns and help them see the value in what they can do for their own life. So shout out to you guys. Upcoming events, I feel like there's quite a few because I'm just kind of going through the whole year. So if you don't know these yet, then you should. So the business breakthrough I posted about, it's just basically, it's for new coaches, veteran coaches, people who just want to get back on it. Like, I'm excited to be an active participant in it as well, even though I'm leading the group, because it's just nice to have a fresh start, right? To just do something different, share with other people, have the accountability of that. And I'm excited to be running it through the Challenge Tracker app because we can have less distractions from Facebook. There will be a sister group though for like us to do live videos in, so that we can do that there. So, but the majority of the focus the app, so that we can be held accountable and have less distractions over there, like for the accountability. So I'm excited. That's going to start January 23rd. So if you haven't sent me your email for that, let me know. And then let's see, Coach Sneak Peek will be.
No, you're not.
Coach Sneak Peek. What's he yelling about? Tell him your
He's being a dork.
Go to work.
He can hear you.
I'm just teasing it. So the Coach Sneak Peek is next Monday, so the 23rd as well. We'll do that with a 3-day sneak peek. And then that same week of the challenge group, we're going to do a 1-hour challenge group event like we have been. So that way, everybody in the business breakthrough, you're going to get firsthand and be able to see that and be a participant in it, as well as invite to it as well. So everybody who signed up for Coach Camp, heck yeah, I cannot wait. This is a huge event to kick off the year. I hope that you guys are doing whatever you can to get there. I know some of you are out of town already, but if you can, it's a 1-day training that will rock your socks off. Like, I'm not even kidding. It is an event that you really do want to be at. Christina, my upline, she is the host of this event, and I promise you'll leave there with some great information to actually apply while we're even there. It's going to be a working coach camp. So it's not just like, oh, I'm just taking these notes and doing nothing. You're actually applying a lot of the stuff right as we're going to be going through it. So Team Cup starts February 1st, so start to assemble those teams. Where do we sign up for? Christy, it's in the Dream Extreme page, and then it's also in our page, so I can tag you in it. You just get on the Eventbrite and get your ticket. It's in Lombard, so it's closer to us than it was last year, so I think only about 2 hours instead, but it's a great event. That's the 4th. And then Summit, of course, if you can still get your tickets for that, that's July 13th through the 16th. And for those of us going, we are talking about an Airbnb or an open house or whatever those websites are called to, Dante's like, yeah. So if we can pull it off, I think that I'm going to start a separate thread with just us so that we can talk about that. And let's see what else. Platinum Edge is November 10th through the 12th. And that is Christine Dwyer's event that she puts on too. And Michelle can attest, that's a great event too. If you're not able to make it to Summit, that would be something you want to do. You guys want to commit to at least 2 live events, like bigger events, whether it's Summit and Platinum Edge or like one of the 2. And then of course, go to as many live events as you can. There's just nothing quite like being around the people and just having that energy and just knowing that you are in the right place at the right time doing what you're supposed to be doing. Let's see. And I think that is it for now. So does anybody have any questions, anything they want to add, anything they want to brag about? We have just a couple minutes. Anybody? And shout out to, again, Michelle for already hitting Success Club 10 this month, and Dante for hitting Success Club 2. So you guys are already off to a great start as well. Anybody else have anything they want to add?
It's going to be 3 on Tuesday. I sold one of those all access.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you get the extra point the Tuesday after. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I can talk about how it happened. It's actually quite kind of funny. I printed out the little paper they had that showed the difference between all access pass and the other challenge packs and how it's how everything all works out. I printed it out at work, and I was walking around, and I talked to one of my coworkers, and I ended up leaving that paper on his desk totally by accident, right? A couple of days later, he came to me and he's like, hey, I want to talk to you about that thing you left on my desk. And I was like, what thing? So he showed, he's like, hey, I got this, and I'm gonna take it home and look at it, and then, you know, I'm gonna talk to you about it. So from that, we discussed it and talked about BOD and All Access and how I've been using it and how it can work for him, and he's all in. He's a young guy. He's in the military. He's in the National Guard. He's also going to school, and he's interning with us. And he's really excited about getting started. So that's it's actually pretty funny how it all happened.
Also, you should just randomly leave these on people's desks.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do that from now on.
Like, here's some casual reading for you to get done here, right?
Yep, that's the plan.
Way to go, Dante.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anybody else? All right. Well, I'm excited, you guys. This is it's been a great start to the year so far. I'm just proud of everybody for everything they're doing, and I know that you guys have some great goals and ambitions, and our vision is just getting bigger and bigger, and it's going to continue to. So proud of everybody, and go ahead and, like I said, start the thread. Whoever finishes first, and we're going to rock it. More action, right? Don't be about it. Don't talk about it. Be about it, right? All right, this in. Love you guys. Have a great week. Have a great night. Blowing it up. See you later. Find my way out of here.